Searching for funniest joke. Here's a joke for you. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing.
Hey guys, hopefully you're doing well. Harry here, and today this video is about the chatbot, right? So hopefully you guys are familiar with the chatbot, right? So if you haven't heard about the chatbot, then you must know about the other chatbot, which is known as the ChatGPT, right? So the ChatGPT is it's a sensation at the moment, right? So everybody's using ChatGPT to do their own work, basically on their research, right? So ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence chatbot, right, which is developed by OpenAI. So you guys must heard about the OpenAI. So if you haven't heard about the OpenAI, then you must know about the Sam Altman. Well, Sam Altman is the founder of OpenAI, and he's the one who is creating this chatbot, right? So basically, he's very smart, right? I have seen some of his video, right? And to be honest, right, and it was very interesting, right? So right now, he's on the code few months ago, right? There's a cross question going on, right? On him, especially about the data policy, right? Data collecting policy, because they are using the billions of data to train this bot, right? Basically, when it's come for the machine learning algorithm, most of my work is contained like 80% of training set and 20% of testing set. So similarly, in machine learning, we use lot of training, we use lot of data for training, right? So why the ChatGPT is violating the law? Basically, when it's come to university policy, you can see the students are using chatbot to write their essay and do their research side. I think the research is fine with the chatbot, right? You can use the research, right? But when it's come for the research, you also have to provide those references, right? I think a lot of students, they are unable to provide those references, and also they are just copy and pasting those those search from chatbot, right? So basically, how we're gonna use this chatbot is to acquire some new skills, right? So basically, we're gonna leverage ourselves using the chatbot, and I will tell you some tips and techniques how to use this chatbot to improve your research, right, and improve your analysis, right? So guys, let's move on, right? Let's move on with this video. Well, this is a Bing chatbot in front of your screen, right? So we have three models over here, right? We have creative, we have balance, and we have precise, right? You can see even the background color change with according to the this model side. So basically, as an average person, right, so I'm gonna ask average questions, right? So basically, I'm gonna have a fun, right? So let's say hey Bing, can you tell me a dad joke?
Sure, I can tell you a dad joke. Here's one. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated.
Oh, well, that's not funny, right? So let's try one more time. But you know what? We will try something on the balance mode, right? Hey Bing, tell me a funniest joke.
Searching for funniest joke. Here's a joke for you. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing.
It's just giving us the response, right? So that's fine, but it didn't make me any didn't make me laugh, right? So basically, now we're gonna do some analysis, right? I'm gonna use some precise model, right? So basically, I'm gonna copy all this data from market insight, right? Basically, this is about the Nvidia, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say read this in short, right? So it will only give us the precise information side. So let's see how it's gonna how it's gonna work, right? So you can see this is our reply, right? With that huge amount of chunk of paragraph, it converted into the precise informations. Now it says over here, guys, one of the board member of Nvidia has sold this much amount of share, right? And the price were between $429 a shares. Between 429 to 434, right? So guys, we just gonna give a input as our audio, and it's basically gonna generate our voice into a text, right? And basically it's gonna give us all those response with the help of the informations or the instruction we are providing, right? So now I'm gonna say, Bing, tell me about the for loop and nested loop in 2 line of code with example in Python. So basically, let's see how this work, right? I'm expecting quite a lot.
Sure. A for loop in Python is used to iterate over a sequence, such as a list, tuple, or string, or other iterable object. Here's an example. Fruits equals apple, banana, cherry. For x in fruits. Print x. A nested loop is a loop inside a loop. The inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. Here's an example. Adjective equals red, big, tasty. Fruits equals apple, banana, cherry. For x in adjective. For y in fruits. Print x, y. Is there anything else you'd like to know about loops in Python?
Wow guys, that's really smart, right? So basically we are using a for loop. So if we copy this, right, if we say like, okay, I'm gonna copy this, right, for loop, and I'm gonna open the command promote, right? If I say Python, right, and if I just paste this, you can see over here it should give us an apple, a banana and cherry, right? You can see over here now it's give us an apple, banana and cherry. So basically it's work, right? And second one is a nested loop. It should be like red, then red apple, you know, like a red banana, red cherry, something like that, right? And let's try to print that. There we go. You can see over here red apple, red banana, red cherry, right? So it's really smart, right? That's how you can use to leverage yourself, and also help, this will help you to improve your understanding, right? Well, it's really impressive, right? Hey Bing, tell me about the data structures in Python.
Python has several built-in data structures, including lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Lists are ordered collections of items that can be of any type and are mutable, can be changed. Tuples are similar to lists but are immutable, cannot be changed. Sets are unordered collections of unique items. Dictionaries are unordered collections of key-value pairs. Each of these data structures has its own methods and use cases. Would you like more information on a specific data structure?
Wow, that's really impressive, guys. That's really impressive, right? Let's try another one. The last one, I'm gonna ask about the data types, right? Hey, tell me about the data types in Python, right? So basically we have integers, boolean, floats. Let's see how this is gonna work.
Sure. Python has several built-in data types, including integers, floats, booleans, and strings. Integers are whole numbers, e.g. 1, 2, 3. Floats are numbers with a decimal point, e.g. 1.0, 2.5. Booleans represent the truth values true and false. Strings are sequences of characters enclosed in quotation marks, e.g. hello. These data types can be used in various ways in Python programs. For example, x equals 5 hash integer, y equals 2.5 hash float, z equals true hash boolean, s equals hello hash string. Is there anything else you'd like to know about data types in Python?
Wow guys, that's really impressive, right? That's really impressive, right? So basically it's give you what are the integer, floats, boolean, strings. Those are the data types, like those are the basic data types of our Python programming, right? And like it's also give us with example, right? So I'm like that's really impressive, guys. So let's try one last time. So we're gonna ask them about how the classification model work, right? How the classification model work in machine learning algorithm using sklearn.
In machine learning, classification is a supervised learning approach in which the computer program learns from the data input given to it and then uses this learning to classify new observation. scikit-learn is a Python library that provides easy access to numerous different classification algorithms such as k-nearest neighbors, support vector machines, decision tree classifiers, random forests, naive Bayes, linear discriminant analysis, and logistic regression. Here's an example of how a classification model might work using scikit-learn. From sklearn import datasets. From sklearn.model_selection import train_test_split.
So guys, these are all the codes that I'm familiar with, right? I use this every time, right? So basically is saying imported data set and is importing the machine learning model, is training and testing. I told you about, like, we train nearly 80%. So basically they are training over 60% over here and testing like 40%. That's the one test size, right? So then there's a prediction going on right now. So let's give a last try, right? Hey Bing, write me a code where I use Y Finance, Matplotlib, sklearn and cbond. So I have to check correlations between using Y Finance, where my x-axis, which is my independent variables, will be FTSE 100 and my dependent variable will be I don't think it will take that much response. Let's see how it's work. Well, this last response is not quite well, right? I will say like 60 to 70% of this code is wrong, right? I have to debug this, and I don't think this will work, right? So basically what we're gonna do now is we're gonna ask some of the few questions, right? So the question will be about the theoretical questions, right, we use in our daily life, especially on the analysis, right? So first I will ask about correlations, covariance and the causations, right? Hey Bing, explain me correlations, covariance and causations using finance, and it should be about stock, commodities or bond.
In finance, covariance measures the directional relationship between the returns of two securities. For example, if the covariance between two stock returns is positive, it means that the stocks move in the same direction. In other words, when one stock has a high return, the other also has a high return. Correlation, on the other hand, measures both the directional relationship and the strength of the relationship between two securities. It is calculated by dividing the covariance between both variables by the product of their standard deviations. The correlation will always have a measurement value between -1 and 1. If the correlation is 1, they move perfectly together. If it is -1, they move perfectly in opposite directions, and if it is 0, then the two stocks move in random directions from each other. In commodity markets, where prices result non-stationary and returns are only mean stationary, a time-varying measure of correlation has to be used. Correlations between different asset returns represent a crucial element in assets allocation decisions and financial engineering. Would you like more information on this topic?
Right. So what is the causation? Causation. So we are talking about the cause analysis, right? Most probably we look for the cause analysis, correlation analysis, covariance analysis, cause analysis.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what you mean by conditions causation. Could you please clarify your question?
I'm talking about cause analysis for stock market.
Cause analysis for the stock market involves studying and evaluating past and current data to make informed decisions about buying and selling stocks. Stock analysts attempt to determine the future activity of an instrument, sector, or market. Stock prices are driven by a variety of factors, but ultimately the price at any given moment is due to the supply and demand at that point in time in the market. These forces fall into three categories: fundamental factors, technical factors, and market sentiment. Fundamental analysis concentrates on data from sources including financial records, economic reports, company assets, and market share. Technical analysis relies on historical stock price activity to predict future price activity. Market sentiment refers to the overall attitude of investors toward a particular security or financial market. Would you like more information on this topic?